Michael?
Hi, David. No, you just got to come this way a little fraction, I think.
Oh.
Yeah. Bit more? So you got to come this way a bit more? That's it. Great. So, David, noticing God, yeah. Now, some people might not know, but David, you've lived in Rhodes a few years, is that right?
Yes, over 17 years. Yeah.
17 years. So a lot of people know David well in Rhodes, I'm sure, but I know you might not know David. And David's got something in common with me, because your work life is something to do with growing stuff, isn't it?
I'm a horticulturalist.
That's
yes,
right. Yeah. You're a horticulturalist and I'm an agriculturalist, you see, because I used to be a farmer. And anyway, David, what brought you to Rhodes?
I don't know, actually, to be honest, because I was brought up in Hilton, which isn't quite Rhodes, really, but it's not bad. And I always used to think, going on the bus journey from Trowbridge to Frome, I always thought of Rhodes as being like that village in North Wales, Port Merion. Thinking it's the sort of place you'd love to go and live in, but you'd never actually live there yourself. So I never thought I'd end up in Rhodes, but I was just walking through the Frome on Saturday morning. I saw advertised this cottage in Rhodes, and it just seemed like a good value at the time, and ended up being the cottage where Don Barber, who was a church warden here, lived. I'm persuaded to buy it by my family, especially my brother, who's very persuasive. So yeah, just within weeks almost, I ended up living in Rhodes from Hilton.
Well, great. Well, that was Rhodes' big gain, wasn't it? And David, you had an interesting Christmas this last year.
I did.
Which a lot of us had interesting Christmases, probably.
I know,
but yours was particular.
Mine was a bit
you want to tell us about it?
erratic, to say the least, yes. I planned to go to see my family in my new house in Cornwall, and I had a feeling that I wouldn't actually be going down because of COVID, but even on Boxing Day I was still ready to go down to Cornwall, and then of course I couldn't go in the end, could I? So rather than having a nice roast with my family and everyone around me having roasts, I had my usual chicken pie and veg. And I was probably my worst Christmas ever was that meal I had. But then I thought to myself, do you know what, I'm going to do something really extraordinary today as well in the afternoon. So I bought these big canvases that summer, each one's about the size of a small car, massive things, and I began to paint, what I expressed as being my COVID bubble on the canvases. I was expressing how I felt so angry at not being anywhere else but home that afternoon. So I put my motion in my canvases, which I'm building on as I go along.
You're going to display these one day?
They're, like I said, big and small cars, so they're very abstract.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, David, we're here to talk about noticing God, and you've noticed God quite a bit this last few years, and you'd like to tell us about that?
I have, again, particularly the last year and a half. I find that I've actually been, excuse my throat, I've been praying at work about every half an hour, all the time. Praying when the emotion and the anxiety of COVID starts to affect me, and all the time just giving it to God to cope with. Praying when I'm at home by myself, and praying for other people. I've been praying recently for a dear friend of mine who died of cancer. She's much older than me. I'm praying for her husband for 50 years. Praying for, really praying the Spirit in people's lives, really. As much as my own, praying for people. So prayer's actually been really tremendous and very long in the last year and a half for me. Yeah, really has.
And how have you seen those prayers answered?
I have really, because beginning of last year, I was gardening in churchyard in Trowbridge, and this young man just walked past me and he said to me, wow, I like the way you prune that shrub. And I thought to myself, gosh, how do you know so much about pruning shrubs? And we got chatting to each other, and his name was Arthur. And I said to him, Arthur, I want you to work for me in a few weeks' time, so if you want to give me your number, and I'll ring you. And he said, all right, yeah, great, lovely, I'll do that. And so, he began working for me at the beginning of lockdown. And he's just been the absolute blessing in my life. He's been Holy Spirit, God, Jesus, all those things in my life for the last year and a half.
Great.
And he's really showed me that, we sit down and we chat for an hour and a half on the grass about life and things. And he's been telling me, about how to feel better about yourself, about how to relate to other people. So he really is he's a philosopher and a prophet all in one. So I have found my Christian life has come on so much, and ironically in the last year and a half, more than ever. But it's largely thanks to people I've known and met, and
Great.
yeah, so.
Great. Well, God does work through other people, which
He
is
certainly does,
encouraging, isn't it?
yeah.
Great. Well, thank you very much, Dave, for sharing that.
Thank you.
And that, I'm sure, is encouraging for us all and to persevere in prayer.
Thank you, Michael.
Thank you.